Annada Ekadashi, also known as Annada Ekadashi. The references for this most pardoning of the sins, Ekadashi, comes from the Brahma Vaivat Purana, the Bhavishya Purana, the Skanda Purana, the Vishnu Purana, the Mahabharata, and many others. Sri Yudhisthira Maharaj asked very humbly to Shri Krishna, O Janardhan, protector of all living entities, please tell me the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Bhadrapada, which is as per the lunar calendar, and August and September as per the Gregorian calendar. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna then replied, O King, hear me very attentively. The name of this sin-removing sacred Ekadashi is Annada Ekadashi. And a person who fasts completely on this day and worships Rishikesh, the master of the senses, becomes free from all reaction to his sins. Even one who simply hears about this Ekadashi is freed from his past sins. O King, there is no better day than this in all earthly and heavenly worlds, and this is true without a doubt. Shri Krishna continues, there once lived a king, a very famous king named Harishchandra, who was in the dynastical lineage of Sri Ramachandra ji. He was the emperor of the world and a person of great truth and integrity. His wife's name was Chandramati, and he had a son named Yudhisthira. By the force of destiny, Harishchandra lost his great kingdom, and he had to sell his wife and son. The pious king himself became a menial servant of a dog-eater who made him guard a crematorium. Even whilst doing such menial service, he did not forsake his truthfulness and good character. Just as the sondas, even when mixed with other liquid, does not lose its ability to bestow immortality. The king passed many years in this condition. One day he sadly thought, what should I do? Where shall I go? How can I be delivered from this plight? In this way he was drowned in an ocean of anxiety and sorrow. One day a great sage happened to pass by, and when the king saw him, he happily thought, Lord Brahma has created Brahmins just to help others. Harishchandra paid his respectful obeisance to the sage, to the rishi, whose name was Gautam Muni. With his palms joined together, the king stood before Gautam Muni and narrated his pitiful story. Gautam Muni was astonished to hear the king's tale. How has this mighty king been reduced to collecting clothes from the dead? Gautam Muni became very much compassionate towards Harishchandra and instructed him on the process for purification. Gautam Muni said, O king, during the dark fortnight of the month of Bhadrapada, there occurs an especially meritorious Ekadashi named Annada or Annada, which removes all sins. Indeed, this Ekadashi is so auspicious that if you simply fast on the day and perform no other austerity, all your sins will be nullified. By a good fortune, it is taking place in 7 days. I urge you to fast on this day and remain awake throughout the night. If you do so, all the reactions of your past sins will come to an end. O Harishchandra, I have come because of your past pious deeds. Now all good fortune to you in the future. Saying that, Gautam rishi immediately disappeared from his vision. King Harishchandra followed Gautam Muni's instructions and fasted on the sacred day of this Ekadashi. Because he fasted on the day, all the reaction to his previous sins were completely destroyed at once. And the lion among kings, the influence of this Ekadashi, it immediately vanquishes whatever miseries one may be suffering as a result of past karmic sinful activities. Therefore, all Harishchandra's miseries were relieved. Just by the power of this wonderful Ekadashi, he was reunited with his wife and son. But in the heavenly regions, the Devtas, the demigods, began playing the kettle drums, the celestial kettle drums, and showering down flowers upon the king Harishchandra, his queen, and his son. By the blessings of the Ekadashi fast, he regained his kingdom without difficulty. Moreover, when King Harishchandra left the planet, his relatives and all his subjects all went with him to the spiritual world. The power of one highly spiritually charged person carrying other around him. O Pandav, whoever fasts on this Ajay Ekadashi is surely freed from all his sins and ascends to the spiritual world. And whoever hears the studies, the glories of this Ekadashi, achieves the merit gained by performing 1,000 horse sacrifices and many other sacrifices. So said Sri Krishna. Visiting the nearby temple along with their families to pay their respects there, listening to the Lord's glories, the mantras, the bhajans, the hymns, and also donating clothes and food to the priests as an act of charity in order to receive Rishi Vishnu's blessings. The mantra for this Ekadashi is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Happy Ekadashi.